All right, let's talk about something that's not just a book, it's a full-blown internet obsession. You've probably seen the hashtag, you've definitely heard the hype. We're diving deep into A Court of Thorns and Roses.
And when I say it's taken over, I am not kidding. Yeah, that number you're seeing, that's not a typo. That's 1.9 billion views for the hashtag #ACOTAR hashtag on Book Talk. We are talking about an absolutely massive viral sensation.
So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, at its core, it's a story we all know and love, Beauty and the Beast. But this version? It takes that fairy tale we all grew up with and just explodes it into this wild, chaotic, and seriously addictive adventure that is tailor-made for today's audience. Okay, so how in the world does a fantasy romance novel get this big? Well, it all starts with some pretty staggering numbers and a story that you just can't put down. And this isn't just about clicks and views online. Oh no, this hype translates to over 13 million copies sold around the world. It's a New York Times best-selling powerhouse, and you better believe fans are absolutely devouring every single page. So, to really get why everyone is so obsessed, we've got to go back to the beginning. It all starts with a desperate girl, a frozen forest, and one single fatal choice. First up, meet our heroine, Faye Archeron. She's only 19, and she's already the one keeping her entire family alive. This is not some fairy tale princess. She is a tough-ass nails survivalist, out there hunting in the woods just so her family can eat. But, and this is super important for later, underneath it all, she's a secret artist with a ton of passion. And this is the moment that changes everything. Out in the freezing woods, totally desperate, Faye kills a huge wolf to get some food. Simple, right? Wrong. She finds out way too late that this was no ordinary animal. It was a fae, one of the immortal, magical beings who live beyond the wall. Turns out her little act of survival triggered an ancient, unbreakable law between the human and fae worlds. And the number one rule? A life for a life. Because she killed that fae, she owes a debt. And it doesn't take long for a terrifying, beast-like creature to come collect. But her payment isn't death. It's being dragged across the magical border into the Fey lands of Prythian. She becomes a prisoner in a place that's both dangerously beautiful and terrifying, the Spring Court. And honestly, this nails the vibe perfectly. One minute she's literally starving in a rundown cottage, and the next she's in this ridiculously gorgeous estate. But it is 100% a gilded cage. Beautiful, yeah, but with something really dark and unsettling just under the surface. And at the center of this gilded cage is this dynamic. You've got Tamlin, the High Lord of the court. He's powerful, he's cursed, he's always wearing a mask, and he is her captor. Then you've got Faye, who's defiant, scared out of her mind, and, just maybe, the one person who can break his curse. And this is where that classic, irresistible, enemies to lovers magic really starts to cook. Despite being terrified and, hating the guy who kidnapped her, Faye starts seeing these little glimpses of someone else under that beastly exterior. The lines get blurry and things start to get complicated. And this right here is the recipe for why this book is so dang addictive. It's a perfect storm of all the fantasy tropes that readers absolutely adore. We're talking mortal versus immortal, magical debts, super powerful love interests, and all the dark magic and politics you can handle. It creates this constant tension that keeps you glued to the page. But just when you think you know where this is all going, the whole Beauty and the Beast romance thing, bam! The story takes a hard left turn because a much, much deadlier game is about to begin. So it turns out the entire Fey world has been living under the thumb of this terrifying villain, Amarantha. She's this unbelievably cruel and twisted queen who cursed all the High Lords centuries ago. She rules from her nightmare court under the mountain, and she is pure evil. And Faye, trying to save Tamlin, walks right into Amarantha's trap. She makes a deal. To free everyone, she just has to survive 3 impossible trials. So yeah, the fairy tale is over. This is now a fight to the death. So what does she have to do? First, solve a riddle while Amarantha is literally torturing her mind. Then, she has to pick the real Tamlin out of a lineup of magical fakes. And for the grand finale, and remember, she's just a regular human, she has to kill a giant monster called the Worm. With just a bow. No big deal, right?
But just when things look completely hopeless, a new piece gets put on the board. Enter Rhysand, the notorious High Lord of the Night Court. He's dark, he's ridiculously powerful, and you have no idea if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He offers fair help, but it comes with a very mysterious and very dangerous price tag.
All of this builds up to an insane, bloody, dramatic climax. The impossible task gets done, but a shocking new problem pops up right from the ashes of her victory. And she does it. She actually pulls it off through sheer willpower, cleverness, and, yeah, a little bit of that mysterious help. Fair accomplishes the impossible. She beats the evil queen, finishes the trials, and in one final heroic move, she shatters the curse over all of Prythian.
But remember that deal she made with Rhysand? Well, here's the fine print. In exchange for him saving her life, she is now magically bound to him. She has to spend 1 week every single month with him in his infamous night court. So she won, but her victory came with some serious strings attached.
And that's the absolute genius of it. This is not a happily ever after ending. It's a killer cliffhanger. The immediate danger is gone, sure, but now Fair is stuck between two of the most powerful Fae Lords in existence. And this is just book 1. And this is why people go absolutely feral for this series. The ending gives you just enough closure to feel satisfying, but it opens up a million new questions. And trust me, anyone who's read it will tell you, book 2 is where you start to question everything you thought you knew. Which leaves us with this final thought. Fair's free, but she's also trapped. She saved the man she thought she loved only to find herself literally tied to his biggest rival. It's a fascinating dilemma that perfectly sets the stage for everything that's about to happen. So I gotta ask, what would you do?